You just crossed over into the female zone.
So I've been single for about 5 years straight, and it's really annoying because the first guy that I actually like, for the first time in years, plays on that because he's actually, unavailable, but continues to flirt with me and make suggestive jokes. And it's just like a waste. It's a waste, and I wrote a song called What a Waste about it because it's just absolutely treacherous that I've been alone for like 5 years, grinding, working on myself, getting my degree, finding new hobbies, new things to do, and then I meet someone who's a waste. Stream it, please. I need something good to happen.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh, poor Colleen. Let me play the world's smallest violin for you. Let me get this straight. You've been single for the last 5 years because you've chosen to be single, and you feel that it's a waste because you're actually showing emotions to a person who's not interested in you, just strings you along? I wonder who strings people along on their emotional heartstrings in order to use them for something. Have no idea. I really couldn't guess. It could not possibly be any of the queens out there. But you know what, sister? I'm going to tell you what I would tell a man in your situation. If a man continues to chase a carrot that's placed in front of him by any queen out there because she's promising him this or makes him think that, I'd call him a simp. I'd say, hey, you know what? This is on you. You see that woman out there who put that carrot out there? She didn't force you to chase it. You chase it because you wanted to chase it. You should have stood on business and said, hey, no, I'm not going to play this game. We're either a thing or we're not. So you know what? If this gorilla can tell that to a man, every man who listens to my channel, guess what, sister? I'm going to say that to you too. Hopefully you can take my advice and use that for inspiration for your next song.
Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
Guys, y'all would not guess what my situationship told me last night when we saw each other for the first time after like 7 months of not talking because I ghosted him. He's like, so how's your love life going? And I'm like, well, I'm not on the apps, and I just like meet people in person, but no one's really like that cool, so obviously you're here, so here we are. And he's like, oh, well, you're a redhead and you've got a big butt, so like you're somebody's dream girl out there. I was almost like too stunned to say anything, like, oh, good to know I'm somebody's dream girl out there somewhere. Good to know. Let me know when you find them, homeboy. The
chat was great.
Honestly, Queen, what did you expect? You said it yourself. He was a situationship that you ghosted for a lot of months. And you saw him again, and obviously what'd you see him for? A booty call, because you're not really going to see him for anything else. And he tells you straight up the truth. Yeah, you're somebody's dream girl, not his. For him, you're just a roll in the sheets, and that's about it. So exactly how is he wrong for saying this? I thought you women loved honesty. He was being completely honest with you. And it's amazing, isn't it, how a guy like that could actually be that bluntly honest with you. And I'm pretty sure you stayed with him and still went to bed with him. Because you didn't say you walked out on him. Yes, you know what you are, honey? For a man like that, he's telling you straight up. You're here for a good time, not for a long time. You're the stand-in chick. You're the ringer. You're the slow Tuesday girl. But look at the good side. He actually told you your qualities. You're a redhead and you got a big butt. There's definitely a simp out there who's not going to mind the mileage or the sob story, and he'll wife you up after about another dozen chads have their way with you. Moving on.
Okay, not to generalize everything, but is everybody married? Because I go out, I do things, I talk to people. Everybody married. Is it everybody? Because at this point, my first husband, I'm gonna be their second wife. I think I missed the wave. Where are all the single people hanging out? Because I've tried the nightclubs? No. I've tried the bars at night? No. I've tried going to coffee shops during the day. I've tried sports and activities. I've tried happy hours. Where are y'all?
like playing Where's Waldo. And don't say you're inside, because I've tried the dating apps and that's worse.
Him, her, bodies.
OMG, let me get this straight, Queen. So you're telling this gorilla and everybody else on the internet that you abandoned the traditional way that men and women used to meet, i.e., you met your high school sweetheart, you married each other, you were his first, he was your first, and you stayed together for the rest of your lives, and that's how marriage was done. So you abandoned that, you went with the modern times, you're going out to the clubs, racking up that mileage, riding the carousel, getting as much sausage as you possibly can, and then you get surprised that, shocker, the men out there are men who are already in relationships and they're players, and there are a lot of players out there just wanting to play. Nobody wants to commit. Chances are if you get married, you're going to be his second wife. Gee, I wonder if men ever told you women that this sexual liberation that you're all yearning for and all that womanist Kool-Aid was going to give you horrible results. No. This gorilla would say that their warnings fell on deaf ears, but I think that's pretty evident at this point. Simply put, sister, maybe, just maybe, it's time for you to realize that you missed the boat there, honey. All those years of clubbing and partying put you in the for fun only category. Well, as the saying goes, you could take the 304 outside of the club, but you can't take the club out of the 304. Moving on.
I don't have any money. I'm poor. I eat dinner by myself. I can't, I guess, keep anybody. Work life's been hard lately. My personal life is crap. I feel guilty for not feeling things, and then I feel guilty for feeling them abundantly. I haven't been a good daughter. I haven't been a good friend. Haven't been a good daughter to God. I feel like I'm mad at him. Which I am. No, I don't feel. And I know I'm not supposed to feel that. But I also am not going to lie about it because he already knows. That I know that there's purpose behind this all. But I'm also just like, what is the purpose? What is the reason? What is my why?
What is the reason? What is the why? Oh my. Listen, sweetheart, I hate to break this to you, but the reason, the why for everything that's happened to you, you know what it is? It's called accountability for your own actions and your own choices. Everything that you just said right there sounded like the results of your choices. No, I'm not saying that 100% of the things that happen to you are your fault. But what I am saying is that most of the things that happen to you are direct results of your own actions. You know what the saying is? For every action, there's a reaction? Well, congratulations, sister. You've arrived at your destination of your reaction. Listen, sweetheart, it sounds to me like you've gone long enough without having to face the consequences of your choices, and it all just caught up to you. And it happens to all of us. And I'm not saying that, hey, women are guilty of this and men are immune to it. No. I'm just saying that usually for men, it catches up to them way faster. They get smacked with that crap way sooner, and they realize, oh, if I F-A, I'm going to F-O. So I need to start watching myself. Women, I gotta say it, especially when it comes to dating, compared to men, you go on easy mode. In other words, when you F-A, it takes longer for you to F-O. But it doesn't mean you're never going to F-O. And here we are. The day has arrived that you have F-O'd. And you know what happens from here on out? You're learning the life lessons of make better choices. The less you F-A, the less you F-O. Moving on.
Okay, I'm going to make one final video in regards to dating advice to men as a female, from the female perspective. And that would be to understand what the actual female gaze is. I don't want to make another video about this because clearly this is an incredibly heated topic and men on the internet get really pissed off about it, according to my last video. So I don't want to go on and on. I don't want to do this anymore. But the actual female gaze, if you look at like the Ryan Gosling character in The Notebook, he is very emotional. He's very sensitive and he's very authentic and very genuine, right? Even look at someone like Prince right? Someone who is extremely feminine for a man, it somehow makes him the most masculine man in the room. He's a badass. And women eat that shit up. You don't have to be like an alpha male or a gladiator or the stoic stallion or whatever the fuck, I don't know, or even a provider. I am a financially independent woman. I'm not looking for a male provider. I think that it's not rocket science. It's actually really simple, and that women just want true human connection that's genuine and real. And I think that men are wanting the exact same thing. When I was a younger female, I was not considered to be particularly attractive. And I remember feeling extremely insecure about that and thinking that all guys just wanted to be with this super hot chick. But as I've gotten older, all I've seen is that that's not necessarily true. Men are looking for the same authenticity from women. They want someone that is unique, you know, someone that's different, someone that they genuinely get along with. And that takes getting to know yourself extremely well. And I actually have had to cultivate a lot of my inner masculine qualities in order to become financially independent and to feel like I don't need a man. And that's been one of the greatest blessings of my life. And so I do encourage men to get in touch with their inner feminine qualities. I know that this is something that clearly a lot of men have strong opinions about. And I don't know what to tell you, because every woman that I know, including myself and including married women, they value emotional intelligence and vulnerability in men, because that is what allows for true human connection. And it is as simple as that. And that's all I want to say. Men, you do not have to be objects. You do not have to be nothing but providers who win the woman and earn love. I don't think that makes for fulfilling relationships or a fulfilling life, really. You deserve to be viewed as a story, as a living, breathing, beating human heart with emotions, and to show up as your true self. Anyway, okay, I'm done here. Bye.
Sister, let me tell you, just by listening to this 3-minute rant that you did, I could tell immediately that you're not qualified to give any advice to men about the female gaze. I mean, the examples you put were Ryan Gosling and Prince. That's the best examples you come up to the average guy on the street as to understand the female gaze. You know what the female gaze is? Simple. If she likes you, oh, he's cute. She turns red. If she doesn't like you, ew, don't look at me. You're being a creep. The female gaze is nothing more and nothing less than women not wanting to take the first step, not wanting to communicate, and wanting the men to basically read their minds. You're telling men, be vulnerable. Yes, that makes you more attractive. Obviously, you're not a man. Obviously, you've never been in a relationship with women. And more importantly, because women hate to hear the realities. They don't want to hear the negativities that men experience, because men will tell you up front, hey, this is what happens when you're vulnerable with women. You never want to hear it, because in your opinion, any negative experience that a man has with a woman when he opens up and he's vulnerable with her must be invalidated, because women can't possibly be vicious. I'm sorry, sister, but ask in the comments, and you got thousands upon thousands of my male viewers which will tell you the same thing. If you get into a serious relationship with a woman and you open up and you become vulnerable to her and you show her your weak side and your vulnerabilities, number one, she's going to lose attraction for you. I don't care what you say about emotional intelligence that makes you attractive. No, it makes you less attractive. Want to know why? Because women see their men as their rock. They want to see a symbol of strength that's going to carry them when they need to be carried. If they see that you're just as vulnerable as they are, they lose attraction, because you're no longer that stoic rock. That's number one. And number two, when things start to fall apart, anything that you tell a woman will be used against you. Your emotional vulnerabilities will be weaponized against you when your relationship starts to fall apart. Why? Because women are not men. Women argue like women do. And when they're mad at you, the first thing they do is remind you of your emotional pain and throw it back in your face. And men who experience this, you know what they do? They learn from it. They're like, oh, so this is what happens when I open up. I became vulnerable with you. I trusted you. And you use that to hurt me later. I will never open up again. And you said that men get really emotional about this? Well, this girl can just tell you, you're better off just having a Coke and a smile.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.